This episode is sponsored by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save money. Send or request cash from friends and family when they owe you for groceries, holiday gifts, or a round of drinks. Cash App is available for anyone 13 or older. Download it and use code Babish to get $15 for free, and $10 will be donated to No Kid Hungry. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're taking a look at the ill-fated strata from the family stone, for which we're going to need some bread, 10 slices of hearty white sandwich loaf, which we're going to cut snowflakes out of by virtue of some snowflake-shaped cookie cutters, and cut the remaining scraps into cubes. Messy and scrappy and neat as a pin. And you need both to make this dish, just like, oh, I don't know, a family. Speaking of family, if you plan on making this with them, in order to prevent any more tension, you might want to mise everything out beforehand. That is, pre-measure, chop, and even cook things so you can throw everything together on the day of. And your best friend for this task is the humble rimmed baking sheet, which I'm having a hard time making look cool right now. Ow. It's the perfect tray for pre-measuring and organizing your ingredients so you can put them in the fridge. So we're going to channel our inner Sarah Jessica Parker's character from The Family Stone. Measuring out a half stick of unsalted butter and 1 tablespoon of neutral flavored oil, then thinly slice 14 ounces of tomatoes. I like to keep these on paper towel to prevent tomato drippies. We're also peeling and thinly slicing an onion into rings, separating them and adding them to the tray. Then Sarah Jessica Parker's character, Meredith, that was her name, Meredith. She strikes me as the mushroom wiping type. That is, painstakingly and carefully brushing the dirt off the mushrooms one at a time rather than washing them. You know, the unnecessarily fussy way. So once we've painstakingly polished our mushrooms, we're cleaning the countertop and dumping them right back out for slicing. It's important to slice thinly and evenly to ensure even cooking. Now once sliced, you could cover these with plastic wrap and fridge them with the rest of the ingredients or cook them off now. There's that tablespoon oil we had so much fun measuring before, which we're bringing up to about 450 degrees over medium-high heat. Oh dear, this pan simply won't do. It's too small and the mushroom might fall out and destroy our pristine cooktop. So same procedure this time in a high-walled carbon steel wok, and this time we're going to add 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. This is going to help draw moisture out of the mushrooms as they cook, about 5 to 7 minutes or until beginning to brown. Now, after a brief workspace sanitation, we're ready to continue assembling our mise en place. I have here 1 pound of fresh mozzarella that I put in the freezer for 15 minutes before thinly slicing, 5 eggs, 3 cups of whole milk, 1 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 ounces of finely grated Parmesan, and a dozen black olives thinly sliced. Now we can begin to cook, or perform a quick workspace sanitation, cover with plastic wrap, put in the fridge, and cook tomorrow when everything's ready to dump and go. Now this might seem a little fastidious, but it's actually a great technique for cooking in general, and it's what Kendall does for me on a weekly basis, so thanks Kendall. Once you're positive that your casserole is 9 by 13 inches, we're going to thoroughly and prolifically lubricate it with butter. That half stick of the unsalted stuff that we stowed with our mise. Then we're laying down all the cubed bread scraps in a single layer, lightly pressing them down before topping them with half our mozzarella torn into little pieces, half of our thin tomato slices, all of our onions, our sauteed and cooled mushrooms that I forgot to put on our tray, the rest of the mozzarella slices, and then we're topping that with our bread-and stars. Then each star gets its own tomato slice. Or, you know, close enough. Next up, we need to build the custard that we're going to pour over the top, combining the 3 cups of whole milk, 5 large eggs, a pinch of salt, and a few twists of freshly ground black pepper, which were not in the recipe, which is why they're not mised. But then we're adding our teaspoon of oregano and 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, whisking until homogeneous, just as fast as your wrist will allow, and carefully pouring over the assembled casserole, making sure to saturate all the bread on top. Otherwise, it could dry out and burn in the oven. Only 2 steps left to go. That's our 2 ounces of finely grated Parmesan cheese and our dozen thinly sliced olives, and then this guy's ready to be covered with plastic wrap and fridged overnight. And I know you're asking yourself, is he gonna spill it for comic effect? And the answer is no. Jess loves this movie and she wants to try the real thing. So the next morning, we're very carefully transporting the strata from the fridge, removing the plastic wrap, and baking for 1 to 1.5 hours in a preheated 325-degree Fahrenheit oven, until it's quite possibly the most beautiful strata you've ever seen. And it springs back lightly when poked, and a tester emerges clean. Let it sit for 10 minutes, during which time it's going to hilariously deflate, divvy with a thin spatula, and serve. Now, Kendall also loves this movie, and she's the one who found the recipe in the DVD special features of her copy of The Family Stone. And I gotta say, whoever on the cast or crew came up with this one, bravo. Top marks for flavor, texture, appearance, and consider this your cordial invitation to the Clean Plate Club. Thanks again to Cash App for sponsoring today's episode. Use Cash App to send, spend, and save your money. You can invest in any stock or buy Bitcoin with just $1. Cash App also comes with a customizable debit card that will be laser printed and mailed to you. When you download the app, use code Babish to get $15 for free, and $10 will be donated to No Kid Hungry. Cash App is available for anyone 13 or older. Download it at the link in the video description.